Our housing market is continuing to show very strong demand and activity for homes that are $1 million plus, which is a big change from how things were years ago. So we are seeing a big mass influx of the luxury homes in both the city and the suburbs, for sure. Hey guys, this is Erin. If this is your first time to our channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about living in Richmond, Virginia, hit that like button, click subscribe, and click that little bell so you're notified every time we release a new video. Hi there, welcome to Living in Richmond, Virginia. I'm Erin Melton, and today we're going to be talking about what is $1 million going to really get you in Richmond, and most importantly, the city versus the old burbs. And this is for 2026. What will $1 million buy you in Richmond City? Well, for one, you're going to have the premium urban living in a highly sought after area, such as the Fan, the Museum District, and $1 million often gets you a larger historical home with at least 4 bedrooms. Typically, you're going to be expecting fully renovated properties with very modern systems, and we're talking nicely updated. Now, I will preface this with 2026, we have seen a sharp increase in the number of properties that have been over $1 million. In fact, I'd say we've seen a sharp increase in the number of homes on the market between $1 million and $3 million in the Richmond area. So be expecting the really nice touches in this price point. However, depending on where you are, you might not have as nice price points. For those price points in the suburbs, you're definitely going to get a lot more than, say, you're going to get in the city. A very spacious townhouse or a residence in a very desirable spot in the city of Richmond. Again, very important things to understand. The near west end, which is going to be area 20, so butts right up against the actual city. A lot of people know this by kind of the areas of like Libby Grove, Patterson Avenue area. Many of these homes are zoned for Munford Elementary School, a very popular spot. Lots of shopping, dining, and beautiful, wonderful homes. The other thing is very walkable to any kind of amenities. Even if you're not in the hustle bustle of the Fan, the Museum District, right down by VCU, any of those big city areas, and even in the near West End, you still are going to be very walkable to everything. And that is probably the biggest draw that anyone for the city is those historical, beautiful neighborhoods, the lined streets, being able to walk to restaurants, walk to your grocery stores, walk to the museums, walk to the park, run to the park, go to the river, be in touch and connected with everything that is downtown. 100%. The city for $1 million offers a lot, particularly when you come to those historic neighborhoods that have that special, very quintessential Richmond architecture that you just simply cannot get in some of the newer suburbs or in the suburbs as a whole. For instance, if you were looking on Stewart Avenue, a very desirable spot in the Museum District, for just shy of 1.3 million, you can expect 3 bedrooms, at least 2.5 baths, and it's going to be very nicely updated. Let's say you could probably get up to 3,000 square feet, built in the 20s, and usually a pretty small lot, though. That is something that you can consider. By comparison, also in the Richmond area over, say, on Hanover Avenue, for 1.1 million, you could get 4 bedrooms, about 3.5 baths. Many of those are added after the fact and have been beautifully renovated. And that would be something that was also built, say, in the 19-teens. That's in the Fan. Good size house. Again, you're going to expect things around at least 3,000 square feet. You're probably not going to see smaller than that. Small lots, like I said before, very important. By comparison, though, if you are still in the city looking in that kind of $1 million to $2 million price point, and you're over on Towpath Circle, for 1.3, you can expect, again, those 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, just shy of 4,000 square feet. And that's in a very, very desirable area, very desirable particular spot of the city. Now, some of those are actually going to be newer builds. When I say newer builds, like in the 2000s, and they'll actually have a little bit bigger lots. So it'll be a little bit different style on things. So other urban features that are going to be very typical that you'd expect around there is you'll have at least a good number of bedrooms, at least 3, but usually 5. You'll have a lot of very pretty details and some very modern updates, but you will have very small yards in comparison to what you could get in the suburbs for the same price. By comparison, you take your $1 million and go out into the suburbs in any of the big counties around the area, you are going to, that be even the very highly desirable West End of Henrico, the very desirable areas in Chesterfield County for sure. You are going to find that your house is going to be something that is pretty amazing, particularly in that $1 million to $2 million price point. You're going to get a lot more bang for your buck than say you would get in the city. So for instance, for $1 million in the suburbs, this is usually what you can expect. Again, very similar to the city, but likely you're going to find a larger home and at least 5 to 6 plus bedrooms, spacious, big size lot, big difference from the city. You'll get a bigger lot for sure, and that's why a lot of people move to the burbs, isn't it? You'll also have the ability to get a newer construction. Now, of course, anything is going to be newer construction to our ones that are built in the 20s in the city, but I'm talking that you typically can even get something that was built in the 2000s sort of thing. You're going to have a lot of luxury features. You go in there. A lot of people, why do people move to the burbs is they want to have the schools, they want to have the bigger yard, they want to have the community. It's more family oriented perhaps than living downtown, not all the way around. But in life, suburban does tend to give you the ability to have quieter streets, you have driveways, you actually have garages, you have space for yourself and all of your things and all the play sets in the back and all the junk everywhere else. Suburbs is about prioritizing spaces. Your schools tend to be much better, and I would say as a whole, you're definitely looking at that. Now, if you live in the city or anywhere and you decide to send to some of the very top rated private schools that are in the city, which a lot of people do that live in the city, they do that. Then you have all the wonderful parks, you have everything, and the shopping and parking lots. I'm a burbs girl. I'm going to say that. I love living in this. I love helping people purchase things in the city. I love the city. I've gotten so much more comfortable, but I am a burbs girl through and through. When it comes down to parking, super important example of why you might like it. That's worth $1 million to me. So by comparison, let me give you kind of an idea of what to expect. For instance, in Glen Ellen, for at about 1.3, you could expect 5 bedrooms, 5 baths. You're going to be in a big house. I mean, a big house. Even bigger than what you'd expect. Most of the time, you're going to be 4,000 square feet plus. It'll be built in the 2000s. You're going to have a nice sized lot for sure. By comparison, also, again, go into the counties. What do you get for bang for your buck? That's why you go to the counties. If you're over in that beautiful neighborhood of Live Oak in Midlothian for $1.2 million, you can get a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath, about 3,500 square feet. God, I love that neighborhood so much. Built in the early 2000s, which I wouldn't say architecturally was the most beautiful time, though I loved my new construction home that I built and bought in 2003. I look back at the colors, God, the colors we painted, we were so excited. And now I look back and go, why did we like those? But that's how things go. They cycle through. And a lot of people don't like white cabinets. That we've seen the repeat actually of the richer cabinet colors coming back in. Also in Henrico County, in the burbs for $1.2 million, you can expect 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. And this is in a very, very popular area, not brand new by any stretch, but the River Road Hills area of Henrico County, very popular. Most of those are going to be built in the 50s or a little bit earlier, maybe a quarter size lot. You're always going to have a beautiful home, and they're going to be beautifully, beautifully, beautifully restored. So let's do a side-by-side comparison of what to expect in that $1 million range. City, you're going to get a larger, historic, or fully renovated home for sure in the $1 million range. Your yard sizes are going to be very small. It's an urban yard. It's going to be courtyard-esque. It's all about the totality of how all the homes flow together in the sidewalks and how the trees are positioned and how the block feels. It's not about space. It is about the vibe of the neighborhood. And of course, $1 million is going to get you walkability. You don't necessarily in these areas have to have a car. Most people do. But you could ditch it most of the weekend and walk to the museums, walk to the parks, go to all of the restaurants, do all the things, right? It's urban, it's historic, it's active, all the university feel of things, and art and highly rated medical college as well. So best for, what's the city in $1 million? What you can get? What's best for buyers who want that city life and that cultural access and really want to be in the historic neighborhood. By comparison, Of course, $1 million in the suburbs, even in the highly, highly sought after sections of the West End of Henrico, the very sought after areas of Chesterfield by the river in particular. You're going to, as a whole, get a much larger home. You're going to get a larger lot for sure. You're going to have more likelihood of definitely having a garage that is attached to your home with a driveway with lots of space for all of the things. And you definitely are going to have more of an absolute need. You're going to have a car. You can't live in Henrico County. You can't live in Chesterfield County without a car and expect to be getting anywhere, period. So, and your vibe is going to be very suburban, very family oriented, and very lots of box stores. Of course, you're going to have the mom and pop and the cultural eateries and what have you, but it is going to be more a big box sort of things you can expect to. And it's best for the people who want all of the space, the privacy, the great schools, and want to be convenient to everything in the thick of everything, but something that is newer. What this matters though in 2026 is for sure is our housing market is continuing to show very strong demand and activity for homes that are $1 million plus, which is a big change from how things were years ago. So we are seeing a big mass influx of the luxury homes in both the city and the suburbs for sure. So neighborhoods such as the Phantom Museum just consistently trend towards higher prices because of desirability and walkability. And that definitely remains the same for the high-end spots, say the Glen Allen area. So when you really talk about what are you prioritizing, what are my tips to you? If you have $1 million to spend, where do you need to go? Obviously, you want to figure out what's most important to you. You want to go, is it the walkability? Is it the space? Is it the schools? Is it the having your coffee shop right around the corner that you can walk to? Is it being right by the river? Is it being able to run to or bike to the parks or whatever? What's most important to you? Or having your kids in the schools that are really popular, having a bigger yard, what have you, and really, what do you want to do on commute times if you are going to be commuting in, or if you're working from home, maybe it doesn't matter. So you need to connect with a local realtor, such as myself, that understands the nuances of a micro market and understanding and listening to what you have to say, looking at the homes you've been pulling up. I know you've been doing that Zillow from the pillow. Y'all do. I know it for sure. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to work together, make sure you get into those homes, and then I might be suggesting some other things like, hey, I'm seeing that this is important to you, like this vibe, but is it necessarily like in what you can get for this money here? Let's shift over ever so slightly and see what you can get in the city. So knowing someone that knows the market, that sells a lot in the area, and knows the difference between where's your $1 million going to go here and where's your $1 million going to go here? What's the best for you? There you have it. All about what you can get in the different $1 million price point in either the burbs or in the city. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am looking forward to helping you find your perfect home in the Richmond area. Make sure to jump into the link below and click on my calendar and let's schedule some time to talk together. Thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, leave everything better. Once again, if this is your first time to our channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about living in Richmond, Virginia, tap that like button, hit subscribe, and click that little bell so you're notified every time we release a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and always remember, leave everything better.